Hi everyone, I'm Deborah, travel trade specialist at the Belize Tourism Board. It's a pleasure to be here today. Although 15 minutes is not enough justice to presenting our jewel, we're going to talk about some of the initiatives our country has been undertaking to grow the tourism industry sustainably and key things to see, do, and experience to help you spark your customers' interest. Now, bordered by both Central America and the Caribbean, Belize boasts having the green and lush jungles of Central America, and then there's beautiful blue islands, beaches of the Caribbean Sea. With such a combination, this makes Belize home or the home of great adventures and diversity in our cultures. The fact that Belize is relatively a small country, and we're talking about roughly the size of Wales, yet filled with so many attractions, it's mind blowing. With such natural and cultural attractions, it is evident that Belize is a country that was and continues to thrive on its history and cultural heritage. The rich culture and heritage of Belize live through it lives on through the nation's commitment to preservation and conservation. So it's safe to say that conservation and preservation have always been a part of our country's DNA. Now, the reason for so many marine reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, and national parks is that Belize has been a country that thrives on conserving its natural resources and heritage. As such, Belize has pristine and untouched resources. The map on screen highlights in gold text all these protected areas in the country. And to give you an idea of how many protected areas this relatively small country has, that should give you some insights into how spectacular Belize is. You're going to find seven marine reserves. We have five natural monuments, which includes the Great Blue Hole, Half Moon Key, 17 national parks, three nature reserves, seven wildlife sanctuaries, 16 forest reserves. We have 11 spawning aggregation zones and seven birding sanctuaries and 15 excavated archaeological reserves. Now, Belize has a combination of both marine and terrestrial protected attractions that make our country one of the most sustainable destinations in both Central America and the Caribbean. On the marine side, our protected areas or the reserves, they draw thousands of anglers, divers, snorkelers from all over the world to our nation annually. In fact, diving, snorkeling, and fishing, those remain among the top experiences for visitors who come to get a taste of our marine world. Belize's iconic blue hole the iconic reef system is actually the second largest barrier reef in the world, and it extends along the length of the country, so on the east coast. And this forms like a lagoon as a protection. It protects our shores from large waves and even during like these like extreme weather. Our coral reef system also creates an ideal habitat for like a wide variety of oceanic creatures, from rock-like living corals to endangered sea turtles to over 500 species of fish in every color that you can find in the rainbow. On June 8th, 2022, the Belize Barrier Reef turned 10,000 years old. Our country proudly celebrated the longevity of this natural wonder by pledging to continue it, preserving all these resources for generations today and those to come. Our region It's also home to three of four of the atolls that are found in the Caribbean. We have numerous patches of reefs that these things dot the offshore waters, and then there's the world's famous Great Blue Hole. We Our country has made huge strides in improving the country's sustainability initiatives, and it's now considered one of the most environmentally friendly conscious destinations in the Caribbean and Central America. The government of Belize recently signed on to a blue bond with the Nature Conservancy, a debt conversion for marine conservation that further establishes our commitment to protect up to 30% of Belize's ocean by 2026, thanks to enacting multiple preservation efforts, such as, like, we have offshore banning of offshore drilling. We also have a designation of no-take marine protected areas. There's also the establishing of the Fish Right, Eat Right program, and of course the phasing out of single-use plastic. So all these efforts that we've implemented have removed the Belize Barrier Reef from the list of the United Nations endangered places, and this came about after almost a decade. So now our coral reef system is registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Other efforts I wish we'd have more time to delve into would be, like, for example, our mangrove and coral restoration programs. So like, we have coral nurseries in Belize. They nurse back the corals. I mean, the corals, they're very delicate, and so it's all about, like, with the extreme weather and all of these things, or the warmth of the water, the ocean, all of these things affect the coral. So we do have that type of program. It's led by Fragments of Hope. If you ever have time to look them up on the web, you can see the fantastic work they've been doing. Then there's also reforestation activities. Then we have our local artisans who use these people use natural resources to create, like, jewelry, medicine, artwork, and a host of other things. Now, all these initiatives, they serve as a huge testament to our country's ongoing marine conservation efforts. And these position Belize as one of the world's leader in protecting the ocean and its precious habitat. In addition to the marine aspect, though, Belize has we also have a major land infrastructure development works. Those are in place to improve, like, our road conditions. So these give us access to most of the attractions and protected areas on the mainland. One of the crown jewels of the ancient Maya world is the Caracal archaeological site, which you see on screen. The Caracal Temple is located in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve, and that's an area in the western part of the country. And it's now considered the new mecca for adventure, culture, and eco based tourism. In addition to the natural attractions, this Mecca area now is also home to numerous, well, I should say now, it has always been. It's been home to numerous accommodations that prioritize sustainability. So Belize is working also on strengthening our intangible community based tourism, offering to ensure that the preservation and the promotion of indigenous communities is also an attraction that visitors can come and experience. For example, we have a newly established Garifuna Trail, which allows visitors to experience traditional gastronomy, agricultural practices. There's sustainable fishing, music, dance, and influential Afro descent culture's way of life. And we're talking about the Garifuna culture that we see on screen. Likewise, the development of a cluster of local indigenous led businesses is in the works also to assist them in crafting their own institutional framework. Then there's also the Living Maya experience, where Maya families, they open their homes to visitors to experience their culture in its authenticity. So visitors can experience cacao trail, learn the art of chocolate making, pottery, basket weaving, all these things, and we find these a lot in the southern part of the country, the Toledo district. Culturally speaking, Belize has a unique mix of over 10 different cultures. And each of these cultures, they bring their own cuisine, languages, traditions, and hospitality. Now, when it comes to our cuisine also, we have farm to table and sustainability are at the forefront of many of the resort's core practices. We see that a lot when we go to visit these properties. Some hotels, they use solar energy to power their laundry room. A lot of them have these wonderful eco-friendly mechanisms set up. So some of the resorts also give their guests an opportunity to explore their organic gardens, and so they could see how the food that they are consuming is grown and how it's produced. We have like other agritourism tours like the spice farm tours in southern Belize. Then there are rum tours, and I can tell you like the rum tours, like for example at Copal Tree Lodge, they have their own rum distillery, and they're very much big on sustainability. So they produce these rums sustainably. And if you go on their website, you can learn about the stories behind that. And then of course the chocolate making tour, as I mentioned earlier, and then cacao trail tours, and these are just like a few of the many tours. I mean, there are so many of them. When it comes to eco resorts in Belize, we don't have any shortage of living off the grid when you vacation here. So tucked between the rainforest canopies and waterfalls, many of the accommodations practice sustainable living conditions, and they also encourage their guests to do the same. So, as we have seen thus far, yes, Belize is surely a destination that prioritizes sustainability, and it provides a unique twist to traveling with a purpose. Now, I just want to share quickly some trade resources. We have two important programs. We have a Belize Specialist Program. It's newly designed, and it's something that, it's a prerequisite for to qualify for any farms in the country. It's really four modules that are about 20 to 30 minutes long. And then upon completion, you also get a badge, as you see on screen, that little thing, that's that little badge that says Certified Belize Specialist. So you can show that off, show that to your clients so they can see. You can use it on your business cards, email, your signatures, and so forth. And then it gives you a host of other perks. And then lastly, there's the Unbelievable Rewards program, which we recently launched May 31st. It's our first ever travel agent rewards program for Belize. We tailored this to support the community. And so all travel advisors are welcome to be a part of this program. It's so easy to sign up. You sign up and you book all your stays. You can book what am I saying? You can register any bookings with at least one overnight stay in Belize. And these bookings can be made with directly with the Belizean suppliers or via any tour operator or third party. And then of course you can redeem points for some of our unbelievable resorts. And a few of the resorts that we have, like we have the Alaya, the Lodge at Chat Creek, Naya Resort, Sweet Songs, Hopkins Bay, the Placencia Hotel, Jaguar Reef, the Sleeping Giant, Chabil Mar, Ramon's Village. So a lot of fantastic hotels. And then we're going to be rolling out a new layer of incentives. So you'll be able to plan an entire vacation. Um, I mean, we're talking about restaurant gift certificates, tours, ferry tickets, domestic airfare, and then of course international airfare also. So all these things will be available in the program, and it has been doing fantastic a fantastic you know the growth of it. So, yes. In closing, I just want to say Belize is perfect for couples and individuals who enjoy wildlife, marine life, and of course, discovering new cultures and those who love to travel off the beaten